It is an utterly harrowing scene. In the middle of the picture lies the barely discernible frame of an articulated lorry sunken into the tarmac, its driver's cabin completely obliterated. Above it, strewn across the carriageway, lies another vehicle, also completely burnt out and seemingly severed in two by the force of the collision. At the back of this trail of destruction lies a car whose bonnet has disappeared under the tailgate of another partially incinerated lorry. The last, perhaps, in this series of horrific impacts. A total of 34 vehicles were involved in this pile-up. It happened just before 8:30 yesterday evening on this, the northbound carriageway of the M5. One driver who witnessed it told reporters all she could hear was the sound of thump, thump, thump as the vehicles crashed into one another. 16 hours on from the incident, the police were still trying to recover bodies from some of the vehicles. Of the more than 40 injured, 9 were still being treated near the scene by ambulance crews. This afternoon, the police said they were doing all they could to help the families of those who died.
Sadly, I can now confirm that we believe we've had at least 7 people die as a result of this incident. We fear that that number will rise as the day continues and we carry out an extensive search of vehicles and the carriageway at the scene. Of course, our thoughts at this time are very much with the family of anybody who's lost their lives, and we'll be working very closely in support of those families.
This footage was filmed just minutes after the accident from within a car heading slowly south on the other side of the motorway. An Iceland food truck is illuminated amidst the wreckage by the lights of the emergency services. Someone can be seen trying to wrench open a door of one of the cars. The fireball which engulfed many of these vehicles was, according to the police, instantaneous. The rescue operation involved 50 firefighters from across the region. 4 of those who died, said the police, had been in one car.
We're about 5 cars back. As we came to a stop, the cars were still sort of kind of piling up. As we came to a stop and all the brake lights finished, just saw flames coming up out of all the trucks, and it sort of got bigger and bigger up to about sort of 20-30 foot high.
Specialist teams of accident investigators have been at the scene all day, sifting through the extensive wreckage which lies just about half a mile away down this still redundant motorway. And their challenge now is to piece together precisely the chain of events which led to this appalling series of collisions. Why it happened is still not clear. The weather conditions were particularly poor at the time. There were fog patches and groundwater affecting this area. It was dark. The police are also looking at whether a fireworks display in a neighbouring rugby club may have caused a distraction. But some of those at the event have insisted it ended 10 minutes before this accident. It will be, said the police, a painstaking and complex process to establish what exactly happened here.
Yeah, that's a bad one. That's a real bad one, man. I tell you. And stuff like this happens, man. Fog. I'm gonna tell you guys, for me, I don't like driving in fog. And you know, fog is one of them silent killers. I mean, traffic already bad, and people already drive bad when it's perfect conditions. When you add fog and then you add uh water on the ground, that's and that fog, man, that fog really blinds you. And my best out on that, and I know people well, you'll say that, but if you got somewhere to be, man, look, it ain't nowhere I got to be. If I didn't leave with enough time to get there and something happens, I usually just, okay, I'm gonna be late. I mean, I be dog, man, I leave home about, and I know this is not the subject of the video, but I usually leave home an hour before I even have to be to work. And sometimes I still get there late because of the way people drive and the accidents they have on these interstates. I leave an hour before. I get up an hour before. I get up 2 hours early. 2 hours. 4:30, I don't have to be to work till 6:30. That's what time I get up every morning. And so, nah, man, this kind of stuff happens. The conditions was bad. The conditions was bad, and it's a good possibility people wasn't slowing down. You know, and so that's normally what'll happen you know if you don't uh if you don't understand these conditions. Because all of these conditions, man, even with snow and stuff like that, I don't like to drive in it. And if I don't have to, I won't. So all right, guys. I mean, we heard a whole mouthful from the news, but this was a bad one. So 7 people lost their lives, and I'm sure people that were injured, uh, you know, this is gonna be something they remember the rest of their days. That is a horrible looking accident. And I think they said, didn't they just say like 5 police officers lost their lives? That's crazy, man. But anyway, this is Truck a Minute. This is Bruce. And I'll talk to you guys on the next one. You guys don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, share the video, man. It helps the channel. Appreciate you guys. Talk to y'all on the next one. Y'all be cool.